Oh, Nintendo, why? Why do you feel the need to torture us like that? Oh, we poor gamers. First you dropped the NES Classic, then the Nintendo Switch, and now the SNES Classic. Where will our money go? Huh. But it doesn't take a scientist to know what's coming for Nintendo fans out there in September. And let me give you a hint. It's anger and sadness. You guessed it, today's topic is the SNES Classic Edition. It's a smaller remake of the famous SNES console that dropped in 1991 in North America. And this one uses emulation to play your classic games. At its core, it's a small PCB with an SoC chip. It's a processor plus a video chip. And it has RAM and flash memory, which makes it pretty cheap to sell at large quantities at low prices. The SNES Classic hardware will probably be the same as the NES Classic that dropped last year. Because of the overkill specs that this one had, I doubt that Nintendo would have created a new hardware for it. And with emulation on a closed environment software created by Nintendo, it will run most of the famous game of the SNES era. The small form factor, the whole slew of games that comes with it, it's 21 games in total, the ability to show new waves of gamers, the kids today, all those classic games that define gaming at this time, without sacrificing an arm and a leg to get all of these things on the real SNES console. That is, if you didn't get rid of all your stuff while you were a kid. The godlike Super Nintendo controller, I feel this controller is really solid, the feel is good, it was a really good controller. And the Star Fox 2, the never before released game included in this set, is really what will make this console sell hotcakes. It also hooks to your TV with an HDMI cable and is powered with micro USB cable or a power supply. I'm not sure, we haven't had the specs yet for this, but it's pretty simple actually. Plus it's only $80 US. So for all those games, one controller, the console, $80 US is a really good price, and many people will want to have this thing. So what could possibly go wrong? If you recall the NES Classic Edition, it was so damn hard to find one. The demand was so high and Nintendo couldn't keep with it. It sold out in the first month that it came out actually. The system was manufactured from November 2016 to April 2017 and sold 2.5 million units. So that's a lot of units for a remake console with classic games in it. We're not talking about a brand new system with new hardware and new games that will last for 4 or 5 years. We're talking about a small form factor console with classic games remastered in emulation system. So that's a lot of consoles sold for a couple of months really. And then Nintendo announced that they stopped making them. And everyone was like, oh my god, what the fuck, Nintendo? I don't even have one. I couldn't find one for the last 3 months. And Nintendo were like, well, here's a couple of reasons, but nothing particularly good for you to know. It's still unclear what the real reasons why Nintendo did this, although we can now assume that it was because of the Switch launch that was coming up. They needed room to push the new console, so they needed to have a lot of supplies to meet the demands. Maybe that's why, that's what everyone supposes. But here's what the president of Nintendo of America had to say about the NES Classic. He said, from our perspective, it's important to recognize where our future is and the key areas that we need to drive, said Reggie Fils-Aimé, President and Chief Operating Officer of Nintendo of America. We've got a lot going on now and we don't have unlimited resources. He also said NES Classic Edition wasn't intended to be an ongoing, long-term product. However, due to high demand, we did add extra shipments to our original plans. Yeah, they did, but they didn't send any, so people still had to go on eBay to find the consoles. We still don't know if the same terrible fate is destined for the SNES Classic Edition, but I know for sure that many people will be left out in the wild, crying and in anger to Nintendo, saying, "Why, Nintendo? Why do you push so few consoles to us? We want them. Take my money, Nintendo." And Nintendo will be like, "No, no, no, no. It's sold out already. We don't produce anymore." Well, you know what I mean. But time tells a lot of things, and for Nintendo, time told us that Nintendo never meet their demands. And you know, high demands coupled with low supplies mean that their product will go on eBay a week or two after for 5 times their selling price. So that's pretty ridiculous. Everyone that will want to have that console, at least that's what I think, would have to buy it for like $400 on eBay just to make their kid happy. So that's pretty lame. But for those of you gamers that will be able to get one, I wish you the best of fun with these amazing games. I had a lot of fun with these when I was young, and I would still have a lot of fun if I could get my hands on an SNES console. I will try to have it. If Nintendo meet their demands, I'll make another video saying congratulations, Nintendo. But for now, take my word that they won't be able to supply enough consoles for all the gamers out there that wants it. And that's pretty much it, guys. Write in the comment section what do you think will be the fate of the system, and subscribe to the Mancave for more content. Meanwhile, I'm Matt for the Mancave, and it's a pleasure discussing with you.